Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is on the Anvil episode and
28.
28.
Remember how you got 25 right the one time and you were so excited, and then you've just given up on trying since?
I've never. I think that's the one time. We should have a running tally of how many times I get it right or wrong. I don't think about it until it's actually happening, and then I'm like, I knew we were in the 20s, but yeah. Welcome.
Yeah.
This is the show where we take you behind the scenes at Dwarven Forge, warts and all, and show you. We pull back the curtain and show you how the sausage is made, and hang out and chat, gaming, and art, and all that good stuff. I am Nate, and this is somebody. Who are you?
I'm Chris. I generally wasn't sure if you wanted me to say it or because I can't see you.
We need,
So-
oh wait, do I have my video on? Oh, I have to rotate. Yeah.
You have video on, but you're turned the other way.
You're facing the
That's not
people. Yeah, you're facing the people.
Okay, that's fair.
Our analog. Maybe we should. Yeah. Well, we need a boilerplate intro, where there's like a spiel and a thing. And no.
Just a pre-recorded intro, so we don't have to
No,
do it
not
every-
pre-recorded, but
every
like,
episode.
hey, like we just say like it's like this is the opening phrase, and then I say a thing, and then like you say a thing, and then yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, like a standard template for an intro.
Like what? So I used to do improv shows on the Upper West Side, and it was
How New York? How New York of you?
How do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was run by a guy named Tom Soder, and one of his best friends, Tom Carosa, was another one. And they had this sketch where they would review fake movies, and then the other actors would have to ask it out or whatever, or act it out or whatever. And they had like a template for it, and they always bookended each segment and started off every skit with like, "Hi, I'm Tom, and I'm Tom, and this is Tom for movies." They'd say it all together and everything, and it deteriorate over time. It was great.
Well, there's a familiarity.
You want something like that for this?
Yeah. I'm Tom and you're Tom, and together we're Tom for movies.
Yeah, let's just use that one. The work's already done.
The only people that'll know that are people that saw the intro of this episode will know why we're doing it. Everybody else will be like, what is going on? Yeah.
Let's just make this show just an intricate web of inside jokes.
Isn't it already?
A little bit.
So, speaking of inside jokes, no, that's a terrible segue. What are we talking about today? What's going on?
So the biggest thing today that we're going to be covering is the main topic of the show, is similar to last week how we covered the new Caverns Deep core sets. Well, I guess actually just Caverns core sets. It incorporates old Caverns and the new ones. We've got new Dreadhollow core sets that are hitting the store on Friday.
They're not core sets per se, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but new configurations basically, as well as new paint schemes that are hitting the store on Friday, so we thought we would showcase those.
Ooh.
So that's what we'll get to.
Put that on the list. I want to ask people about core set, like, well, we'll talk when we talk about core sets. I have a core set question. That's there. All right. You made me think of something. It's good. This is what this show's about. Thinking. All right. Well, let's go. Let's get into the news so that we can. And we're doing a giveaway. What are we giving away?
We're doing a giveaway. What are we giving away? We're giving away another basic Caverns core set.
Woo! Core sets. All right. So let's go to the news.
Unpainted. If people want unpainted, could we do an unpainted if somebody wants it to be unpainted?
Yeah. If they want to paint it themselves.
It's technically cheaper for us, right? So like.
Yeah. Let's give the people what they want. Your choice, painted or unpainted.
All right.
Yeah. You could do some sort of alternate paint scheme, do a thing. Yeah. All right, let's go to the news. Let's get official. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it. I genuinely don't know if you actually want us to record like some audio to go with that, or if you just want to do that every time.
I don't know. I'll forget about it until the next week's episode. Hey, we didn't have any audio issues yet. We didn't have any so far. We're streaming smooth. This is great.
So yeah, so far it all seems good. People are saying like nobody said that I was too quiet or anything, which is
you do look a little well. All right. So what's in the news, Chris? News from the realm.
Well, the biggest thing to keep in mind, if there's anything you've been wanting to grab from the store, anything you might want to get from us in time for the holidays, either for yourself or as a present, the holiday shipping deadline is coming up.
And holiday is code for Christmas.
Sure. Yeah.
right? Because Hanukkah is way before Christmas this year, I think.
That's
So yeah.
fair. We probably can't ship it in time to get there before Hanukkah if you need to buy Hanukkah. But
Although,
Christmas,
oh,
which
there's 7 nights or 8 nights or. Oh man, my wife will get mad. What? How many? There's. I should know this. I don't know.
isn't it? And I hate that I know this.
8 nights.
Isn't it 8 because of the Adam Sandler thing? 8 crazy nights.
100% sold.
That's yeah. Hey, I'm not the only person. Other people in chat are also using 8 crazy nights as the way to remember how many Hanukkah
Yeah.
nights there are. So it's
Well, the other thing is it has to be an even number because the menorah is symmetrical and has a central candle that lights the other candles that doesn't count. So there has to be an even number of nights
right. So
based
there's
on the
so
odd
there's
number
9
of candles.
candles. There's 9 total.
Yes.
The center one doesn't count. Got it. Um,
No.
Thank you, Adam Sandler, for putting this important Hanukkah information in the
See?
title of a movie that I've never actually seen.
And drink your
Um,
gin and tonica.
Yes.
Wait, what movie?
When is our actual holiday shipping deadline? that
You
we-
tell me. December 4th. Oh, December 4th international. I got that.
December 4th International. Domestic, it's not as
It's December 9th,
pressing.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
December 9th for domestic. Right. So, because of that, that's why the Dreadhollow restock, if you haven't heard yet, the Dreadhollow restock is happening on the 4th, and we're doing it earlier than usual. We're doing it at 11 a.m. Eastern, so that international people have more time to like make their purchases and still get them in under the Christmas shipping deadline.
That's you, Rabbit. That's you, Finley Shards. That's you. Who else is watching from Europe? I don't know. If you're watching, you're in Europe. It's for you. Friday at 10 a.m. I think. Our time
Friday,
Eastern.
10 a.m. 11 a.m. Eastern is when the stock
11.
goes live
Okay.
on Friday. And it's not just Dreadhollow stuff. There's also some dungeon stuff and the like on there. If you want to see the full list, it's available on the front page of our website. So you can check there if you want to see everything that's coming. We've also posted the breakdowns and the prices of the new Dreadhollow sets are available both on the forums and on the Discord if you wanted to see what exactly those things consist of and how much they're going to cost. If you want that information to plan out your purchases.
Guess what? You could also
what's up?
watch. You could also watch this show tonight and learn about that too.
You could.
Yeah.
Let's see. And also to go along with that, we also have the build of the month dropping early next week.
Oh wait! Before we build a month, we still have tons of Caverns Core are still available. We've had so many restocks. It's been like a restock-a-palooza. We still got Plaguestone. We've got Caverns Core. We've got I don't know if we have anything else, but we have stuff in stock for the first time in a decade. So take advantage. It'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Hellscape. That's the other thing.
Restocking just got real wild this year. Yeah, just because it messed with our production and shipping so much that everything just kind of got packed into the end here.
The rest of the year was so quiet. We had.
Yeah. And we've had like 4 big restocks back to back to back.
I can't hold this dagger tonight. I'm falling apart. All right, so build of the month. What's going on with that?
We are dropping it. I believe. Did we decide to drop it on Monday instead of Tuesday to get more time, or is that
we're aiming for it? I mean, I saw.
We need to do it on Monday instead of Tuesday.
I saw a rough cut today, so I think we're on target. Oh, I have to get the info to Eric.
Do you want to tease what it's about?
Well,
what's in it?
Well, Chris, I'm glad you asked. People who've watched building of the build of the month on this very channel probably already have a clue. It's a dungeon build. Foul spirits. There's a spoiler alert. There's necrotic whiskey involved, and it's classic stuff. And it's got the sinister dungeon layer and a classic dungeon set. So it's a cool like dungeon bundle for I believe it's under $300 dungeon bundle. I could be wrong. I don't know what prices are, but it's got a gift card and a thing. So it's a cool present for people who love dungeons. And that should go up on Monday, and then
the plan is if we can get it up on Monday, that gives like a little bit of extra time to buy that bundle if you want it by Christmas, because then it'll be out, because the domestic shipping deadline for holidays is the 9th. It's the Wednesday, so We're trying to get it up early, so there's time to buy that if you want to give it as a present.
And there's still
Uh,
the off chance, like if you order it on the 10th, you still might sneak in. Like, we're not 100% sure, but the 9th I think we can guarantee it by Christmas.
yeah,
If
and
you're
then build of the month is only painted, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
If they want, they can buy the painted version, and we'll send them an unpainted one for the same price. So there's these two bundles are sort of annoyingly difficult on the store. It's a bunch of manual stuff that has to happen, but
yeah, maybe over time we'll be able to get it up there as unpainted. But for now, we can really only manage to do it painted.
Yeah. And there's not a huge. We don't move. I think the most of these build of the month bundles we've sold is like 40.
Yeah.
So like it's not like we're moving a ton of them. So I don't know. It's a bunch of work to then make a second bundle. Also, I don't know. We'll see. We could if there's a bunch of demand. I don't know how to gauge the demand until it actually happens.
It's an interesting thing, right? Because it's bundling a bunch of sets that we already have in the store, and then it's also then it also comes down to then like the method of like advertising it, how many people actually hear about it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting. It's also still a fairly new thing for us as well.
Well,
so
and
we're still trying to figure out.
Once we have our new website up, it'll be easier. We'll have a little spot for it and yada yada. But so speaking of build a month, that gives me some questions. This really isn't a news segment. This is more a just some topics to talk about segment. But we're gonna do Dreadhollow build for January, and the building of the build of the month for that is gonna be Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. So I don't know what exactly we're going to do yet for that, but it'll be fun. People have been asking for Dreadhollow builds. We're going to do that. So the question is, what else? What do you want to see us do in 2021? What build of the months would you like to see us do? What zones or what? I don't know. Anything. What do you got? Tell us. Speak to us. Tell us what you'd like to see as a build of the month. Also, this might be crazy. I think I'm gonna do. Because we try and keep the build of the month sort of a attainable size price. I think I'm going to do like a mega build of the month with a castle. Because the reality is that castle stuff, like, you can't do a small, like, I did that one ruined one, whatever, but, like, I think I'm going to try a mega build of the month bundle. So if you're looking to get some castles, have them, it'll be, like, a great chance. It'll be, like, some sort of cohesive castle thing with the gift card. So it'll probably be big. Or it'll be, like, a $1,500 bundle with, like, I don't know, a several $100 gift card or something. So it could be I don't know, could be an exciting adventure to be had, like March or something. What's March Madness, right?
I'm seeing a lot of people ask for like cities they can start collecting leading up to the next Kickstarter.
Fair.
A couple requests for castles. A lot of people wanting to see like hybrid builds of sets you wouldn't normally think about combining.
Oh, hybrid builds. Slack that to me so I remember it. That's a really good one. We did, our city, the one we did what was the city? The Nodestone Unturned build of the month. That was the city-based one. That was, I think, our best-selling build of the month so far. So, city, it'd be cool. Hybrid. We haven't done hybrids. That's a good, yes.
Yeah, we've usually made just like a collection of pieces in the same biome before.
Yeah. No, that's a fun, I love it. Love it. Any other good, any other nuggets of... Any other astral diamonds in the rough?
We got a specific request for combining ice and hell, which
fire and ice.
Yeah, fire and ice.
Have you ever?
That could actually be fun to like try and make something that like works, doing that.
You ever see that movie?
Fire and Ice.
Yeah, Ralph Bakshi and Frank Frazetta.
No, I can't say I have.
Dude, old school.
I've heard songs about it.
Rotoscope animation, like. Really like mind blowing at the time. Still mind blowing. So cool. Like I don't know. Actually, I haven't seen it ever. I don't know if it still holds up, but like pretty wild. There's even more wild. Is so they got all these like actors to do this stuff and then hand drew cell animation over it using them as the template. Like hand drew all this animation. It was like quite Frank Frazetta fantasy. So it's like people running around in loincloths with dinosaurs and like just bonkers. But there was a behind the scenes. The DVD had a behind the scenes of like the making, of, and there's like a scene where like a huge like it's like a giant like a 30-foot Komodo dragon like eats some of the like the savage the bad guy tribe or whatever, and they showed it behind the scenes. They're making with behind the scenes being like somebody had like a pre VHS, like I don't know, somebody had some giant camera like out in the parking lot, but they had a front end loader in the parking lot and just like hung a dude off the side of a front end loader and like filmed him like hanging and struggling, and then like then the rotoscope it all in. But it was like there was no safety thing, there was no anything. It was just like there's like a guy like hanging from chains off of like a backhoe in the parking lot of their studio. It's amazing. So
I'm sure whatever he was compensated with was enough.
Now we got immortalized in animation. Yeah. So what other news do we have?
I don't think there's a way to top that.
No,
let's see.
We've arrived. Where did I put my third?
Let's see. We talked about Dreadhollow restock. We went over the Battle of the Month stream happening next.
Oh yeah.
I guess we can say we have. So I guess we can like officially announce that we have started moving into the conversations for the next Kickstarter.
Yes. Yeah.
Tomorrow, like we had a meeting a while ago, just to like get a very broad idea of like all the things we could maybe do, and then the sculptors have been going and like brainstorming for a while, and we're meeting soon to go over all that.
So what we did was a big team. We had our initial sort of team brainstorm, talking generally about what can we do that's interesting in the city, and kind of narrowing down some like biomes, and then the last month has been sort of focusing, drilling down into in those biomes, like what are the kind of the hero areas, analyzing the survey, right? So we keep going back to the survey results and using that to guide, and then tomorrow we present to the extended team. So we're bringing in all of our external folks, like Drew Williams will be there, and Crystal Sully will be there, and Die Hard Dice will be there, and Pavel and Lisa Sell, and all. It should be a party. We're going to present to everybody sort of what we drilled down, like what the general parameters are, and then do like an insane. It's going to be like a rapid fire brainstorm palooza of within those things. What are the coolest things we can do within the targeted areas that we've got going? So I'm pretty excited. It was I had a really I sort of went down the list with the development team today and said, okay, here's what we're looking at, and we're all basically on agreement of the core list, and have some really good ideas, a couple of new systems to do some stuff and whatever, and we'll see how it all fleshes out. But what's crazy is we're already over our sculpt limit and we haven't even started.
How is that? No, I mean, that was to be expected, right?
Yeah, but it's not usually this bad. Like, I don't know. And it's the first time ever sculpt team is telling me, no, we can do more. Like, normally they're like, no, you're a madman, we have to scale it back. And they're like, well, because there's a lot of small, there's a bunch of small, like, pieces are all essentially smaller than Wildlands. So it's like, like he is like, well, you could do 20 corner posts and it's still not as hard as doing one 6x6 floor like this. This is harder than 20 different corner posts. So
it's because of all the pieces that we need to make that modular boat, right? Ask Topulus.
No. We're not going to do a modular boat this time. It was on the list at one point, but it's I would love to. And at some point, Pirate Island will see the light of day, but not right now. Yeah, that'll be. We'll get there. Man, the boat is terrifying. Like that is like. That geometry is. Yeah.
The idea of making like all the, like all the decks of the boat playable, like being able to like still play underneath, having it still be manageable, having it be sizable with the way that we make our pieces, and all still fit together, and also you have to be
able to move it as a unit and like things, and plus medieval boats have those like cool like the forecastle that's like castle up front where you can put a catapult and like all, I don't know. There's just like it's a whole thing into itself.
Because that's the problem is like if we do it, we want to do it right. We want to go like as far as possible.
Well, you don't want to just build one boat. You want to be able to build an armada, right? Like you need and of different sizes and like your man of wars.
It wouldn't just be a modular ship. It would have to be a modular shipbuilding system that you could make multiple boats out of.
Well, and if you're making boats,
Yeah.
you better be making airships also and spelljammers. Like we gotta, like we're going every which way. If you don't, we're going into all. It's like we're the seals of boats. We're sea and air and floss. What's the stuff out in spelljamming world? It's flossogen or something, right? Floss. It's before. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. What do you? When did Spelljammer come out? It was like 1994, 92.
I don't know, but people in chat are really excited about it. Flotsam?
It's something like that. It's highly flammable too, so don't cast your fireball. Yeah.
All right, I'm seeing Flotsam several times. Wargaming Recon is shouting it at us. I'm pretty sure it's Flotsam.
Okay. Yeah. It's yeah. But anyway, so that's not. Maybe we can time it out. When do you think is Wizards ever going to release the official Spelljammer setting? They've been kind of teasing it, right? Tasha's had some teases.
Let me call them up.
Get them on the horn, Chris. Right now, let's get them live.
Maybe we can bring them on to the next on the Anvil.
Yeah, all of them, all the Wizards. Just get the whole.
They can hang out with us some Felipe.
Yeah, but they teased, right? There was a Nautiloid factory and a bunch of Nautiloids in the in Tasha's, and they're I don't know.
And not only that, but also like it's. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they bust out some of that stuff soon.
So
because they've been leaning a lot into it. Baldur's Gate 3 also
dips
into that stuff as well.
So maybe we need to problem is we're always going to be a year behind, but except for our ice restock landed in time for
that's why we got to start secretly making it now.
Okay. Oh, so this is all just a ruse, right? We're throwing people off. It's not really cities. We're going to release a modular boat, Spelljammer airship.
One of the boat is just one of the biomes.
Water boat, air boat, and space boat. 3 biomes. Done.
Space boat, coast to coast.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So anyway, we're so tomorrow we have a big meeting. We're going over. Says that the goal is I'm trying to get development ahead. I'm trying to get Sculpt team able to be going full tilt in January, so we can hopefully launch a Kickstarter October 1st. And we're because then we're gonna shift gears. Everybody that's basically not sculpting is gonna shift gears to all of our homework, right? Like reconfiguring sets. So we'll talk about them when we talk about core sets, but we got a bunch of other fun projects to get cooking too at the same time. So what else is in the news? This is the weirdest news segment. The best.
Yeah, right? we're going off a lot of tangents today.
Ready?
I think that was. Talked about that. Somebody asked a question that I was like, oh yeah, we should address that. I'm trying to remember what it is. It was an update on something, and I completely forgot what they asked because we got off on the tangent.
They just asked in chat?
Yeah, they asked something in chat.
Well, maybe they can they can ask it again if they're really nice.
Yeah, it was an update on something, and I was like, oh yeah, we should provide an update on that. Hopefully, I'll remember. They asked about
terrain trays.
If they knew when we'd be reopening the Pledge Manager for the resin sets yet.
No, we don't have castings in hand yet, much less painted. January at the earliest. The new year.
So you've got time, basically.
Yeah. Save up all your Christmas money, your 8 nights of Hanukkah cash. Put it in a sock, and right. That's where you keep your money, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
A book safe.
Oh, and people also asked if we could do like a Wargamer build of the month. If you'd be interested in doing stuff like that.
Oh, select that one to me too. That's a good. Yeah.
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 Yeah. That was another thing.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I like that. I'm so sold.
Actually, it'd be fun to just like sit down at some point and just like look at the sets that we have in the shop and just try to brainstorm like what kind of cool things we can do.
What else can we build?
Build of the month. Yeah.
Well.
I think that's basically everything though. We talked about.
We didn't talk about core sets.
Oh, the Caverns core. Yeah. So the response to those seems like it was pretty good. They've been in there for a while. We still have a fair amount of it. We're trying to these new like core sets, we're trying to get a lot of them in the store, so that they can gradually sell for like a long time. And instead of us having to constantly restock them, we can do a big restock and then focus on other things.
Well, the goal,
Um,
so the goal is to never have them be sold out. We want to always have. So the dream, the vision, as it were, is that we will have core sets for every biome, right? From dungeon to cavern to city to castles. Not, I don't know if it was anyone that's feasible, and they will always be in stock. And so the first, we have that one. We kind of have one dungeon one, the remastered core, the classic dungeon core, which, and we're gonna try and get some more dungeon ones. But we did caverns. But ideally, we want to have just a line of sets that we can always have in stock across all the biomes that are simple, relatively easy to understand, good in multiples. If you buy, you could buy 3 of them, and they're just, it's you don't get weird repetition of useless pieces or whatever or something. And they are, I'm going to tangent again. So I've been playing this sort of fun hybrid of Dungeon World with my kids. My 4-year-old is jealous that I've been playing D&D with Grayson, or sort of was curious, wants to be involved in this, was kind of has been really into Hero Quest. In fact, he DM'd or game mastered a Hero Quest adventure for me the other day, which was wild. But he's 4, so it was pretty amazing. And there were some surprises, some twists and turns, including a friendly mammoth named Stompy and all sorts of stuff you're not expecting to find in a Hero Quest game. But I was getting kind of sick of playing Hero Quest with them, so I was like, we're going to play a new game called Dungeon World, but it's not really Dungeon World. So I don't know if you've ever played Dungeon World, but it's basically D&D streamlined. It's the Apocalypse engine or whatever it's called, powered by the Apocalypse. It's like super, just roll 2d6, super collaborative, super fast, super easy. Like, just, it's great. It's a great system. So I did like a hybrid version of Dungeon World. We did a session 0 with them where they made their characters, they made up their thing, we made up the world, and then the ideas were they have to draw. Grayson, my 8-year-old, has to draw a map. I'm like, we figure out where they want to go, and he has to draw a map of where they go, and then I'll make up some stuff along the way, and then when they get to the actual encounter, they figured out in sort of advance what it is. Then I dump out a bucket of Dwarven Forge pieces, and they build the encounter with me, and then I run them through it and see what happens. They don't know what all the surprises are and whatever. So the moral of the story is, we could almost do a whole episode on like how to play games with your kids with terrain.
Well, genuinely, I mean, that's one of the. I think that's one of the things that's nice about this company, right? Is we try to be kid friendly with the product, because a fair amount of people involved in this play with kids.
So anyway, moral of the story was, I used Caverns core sets to do a Caverns build with them, and it was like, perfect. A 4-year-old could build with it. It literally could be our tagline, right? It was, rolled out, and it's just, the pieces are all simple, easy to work with. It's all 2x2 stuff, boom, 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 boom. Before you know it, you have a cool cavern, and off you go. So anyway, so that's the premise of core sets. 4-year-olds should be able to build with them, and good in multiples. And we're gonna roll out others. So that's
Is there interest in having those Caverns core pieces in Underdoom paint?
So funny you should say that. Yes. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there is interest, but I'm interested. So
I mean, in chat, people are asking for it.
Oh, yeah. So we literally were just talking about it today, because we're working on another reorder right now for a restock in like 6 months, and I want we can't do Hellscape yet because we need a bigger thing, but ultimately I want the Caverns core in all the colors, right? I want it in regular Cavern, in Ice, in Underdoom, in Hellscape. And then we want... So phase 2 of the core strategy is to have the next step sets. So it's like, okay, because people that aren't in the Kickstarters or haven't handled stuff before don't know where to start, right? So it's like, okay, well, if you start with a core set, and then it's like, well, what's the next thing you go to? So I want to have the next step. So the next, should be 3 sets. So here are 3 core set options. Then here are 3 sets that are the next step once you have a core set. I want some more advanced buildery pieces. I want some traps. I want some whatever, some basic, some passages, whatever, some basic some good stuff that builds on the stuff you already have in the core set that adds a little more complexity. And then after that, it's, you just go in the deep end of the pool and wander around the store and try and figure it out and watch 5,000 hours of YouTube videos to see how we do it, whatever. But if you can get through at least 2 layers, and then once you're in, you can figure it out. So the Crooked Caverns Builder set, which is a terrible name. We should have just called it like the Advanced Builder, or Caverns Advanced Builder, or something, whatever. That set is essentially a next step set where it's all the pieces you need to go with your core set. It's all the other kind of building. It's the swell walls and the convex curves, and it's got a couple extra diagonals. It's got some little 1x1s. It's got like sort of all the stuff you need to flesh out your core set. So I want that in all the different colors also, so you can then have just more options for your bid. So anyway, so we're trying to figure out how to get some of the stuff in Underdoom. How many people were asking about Underdoom? Because that was the question. Jay's like, how many people are actually interested? And I was like, I don't know, because we only sold
in the chat we had 3 people by my count specifically asking if we were going to do Underdoom core, and then once we brought up Underdoom, a lot more people started like excitedly typing about it.
Would they buy 1 set, 2 sets, 10 sets? How many sets? And would they buy the Crooked Cavern set, like with the convexes and all the fiddly, the swells and whatnot? And how many? That's the question. Mentality. Because there's only, I think we have roughly 300 people have bought Underdoom or something. It's not a huge. We don't have a huge Underdoom population out there, but
it's fairly niche, right? But it's also a very cool thing to be able to build if you do go to the Underdoom.
Dude, and have you seen it under blacklight? Which is, I don't know where my blacklight light went.
Wait. That's another question for the people who either. So for the people in chat who already know about Underdoom, do you know that putting it under a blacklight is like a thing?
All the green like pops. It's a whole, and the Moam was supposed to. It got lost in translation. So this guy has 2 settings, right? It has the green setting and then it has the purple setting. The purple setting was supposed to be UV, but it got lost in translation somehow to the factory. So it's purple, but it's not actually UV. Because the whole point, this was supposed to be a thing you put in the Underdoom, and it creates this cool glowing pool. It triggers all the UV paint on. But yeah. But anyway, and I don't know. I think it's worth. Hopefully, we can make it happen and see what happens. I'd love to order 300 sets of that and see if we can actually move it and get some other people into Underdoom and support the people that already have Underdoom, give them more basic pieces, because the actual Underdoom encounter didn't have enough basic bread and butter pieces, and I don't know. That's the plan, is to try and get all those things. So then the other question, we're going to do dungeons next and cities next, because also the city core sets are great Wargamer sets. They're self-contained. They've got roofs. Their whole thing. Like Tyler's working on the spreadsheet. Man, the mold configurations on City Builder are insane. It is like a game of Tetris on mushrooms, where it's just like 3-dimensional. Like the mold configurations are outrageous. So trying to figure out how to actually get the sets that you want with all the pieces you want, because there's all these weird extraneous. Like there's the chimneys are in the same mold with the corner crenellation. Like, what is it even? So I don't know. It's like
I think that's part of the process that's hardest for people to understand when they're not directly involved with it as well. Is that it's not like we don't produce each piece individually.
No, there's some of these molds have 6 different pieces in them.
Yeah, it's all about like trying to arrange them in ways where it's the most efficient to like produce the pieces. So what that means is if we need to reconfigure sets after the Kickstarter, it can be a pain to like try and move things around, and then you wind up with all these extra pieces and stuff like that. So we're trying to like do new configurations, new sets, and all that. But it's very complicated.
It takes time. But anyway, we got some city, we got some dungeon. We'll work on core sets and all those. Question is, which you sort of flagged inadvertently earlier, was what do we do for core sets for like Dreadhollow and Wildlands? Right, my gut is that they need to be sort of scatter based, because anything with sculpted floors is just gonna be like price. It's just gonna be price prohibitive as an entry level thing, right?
What's interesting about trying to like create a core set for one of the wilderness things, for Dreadhollow, is this isn't like the caverns or the dungeons where you're putting a wall around an area and creating like a room.
Mm-mm.
So does it have to have banks to be able to go down to terrain trays, or is it a thing? Yeah, is it just something entirely scatter focused? Because having the sculpted tiles is also very cool. So like those still need to be accessible, right?
But you could
like,
get,
yeah,
yeah, if we had like maybe the supporting pack or sculpted floors with a lot of open space, so you can then put the scatter on them. I don't even know. I don't really know how to wrap my head around it just yet.
much to think about.
Yeah. So if anybody has any brilliant ideas on how we can do core packs for the wilderness, I would love to hear it.
Core equals battle boards. Mega core equals sculpted floors.
Maybe. Just so the price is like.
Yeah,
you know,
that means that you're getting a lot of the expensive thing and a little of the cheap thing with the respective sets.
Well, and also it's hard to, like, I don't know, if you need to start in. I mean, what was the explore the forest in the.
Yeah, so the explorers were a
$600, $500, $400.
It ranged. Yeah, I think swamp was high 500, and then I think mountain got up into 700.
So that's without even sculpted. That's without even sculpted floors. So like, it's hard to have an entry level set that's coming in at $600 or $1,000.
It almost feels like in order to do it right for something like Dreadhollow, instead of doing like a core forest or core like Dreadhollow, you just need to break it out into like, okay, if you're just trying to do scatter, here's like the core trees and fauna.
Well, and that's what we have.
I mean.
Well, maybe there's some fauna too.
Yeah, let's make a bunch of animals.
Frolicking a bunch of the floor. What
Oh, we forgot to release that unicorn.
Oh, next year. Do we have? Wait, we covered all the other news topics, right? Should we look at the Dreadhollow? Because we can talk about the.
There is, but somebody they keep bringing up in chat something I forgot to mention.
Hit it.
If you're looking for something fun to do during December,
who isn't?
The Discord has decided to do this kind of fun, not really competition, but just like this fun like community thing. They're calling it the 12 by 12 Days of Christmas, where they're all trying to make 12 by 12 builds and share them. I believe those are the rules. They're doing that in the Discord. So if that sounds interesting or fun, I should actually make a separate channel just for that.
Is it 12 by 12 builds?
Yeah, so they're calling it 12 by 12 Days of Christmas.
I want to give them a prize. Can we? Can we give something away?
We can discuss that after the. I'm gonna make like an official. I'm gonna make a separate channel just for the 12 by 12 Days of Christmas thing. On the Discord, so it can be like a more collected thing.
Although I think it needs to be a random drawing. The problem is it's really hard. Like,
what we said is like a panel of judges.
Yeah.
Like submit your portfolio.
It's really hard. Like, I don't know, and it's also. I think random is the only like. Oh. But yeah, it'd be fun to throw a prize into that, because that's a really cool idea.
We'll think about it. It's a fun thing.
Yeah. Don't
judge it, just random draws. That's what people are saying.
Yeah, because I don't want to judge like. Yeah. I love the parameter of a 12 by 12 build. You know who loves 12 by 12 builds? Toby. He's gonna sneak in.
Yeah, Toby does.
Yeah, if Tofu of Destruction wins, we know it's a rigged. Yeah.
Anything tofu. He's gonna have to break his code and make a non-tofu related username if he wants to win.
You're the best.
All right.
Were there any other news topics before we go into Dreadhollow?
I think that's it. We wound up discovering some stuff that we'd forgotten about along the way. But I think that's everything.
And if people have any ideas on core sets that would make sense, let us know. And/or second step sets, like what are once you have a bunch of core stuff, what's the next thing you need? Because that's we're just looking for ways to make it easy, package it up easily for new people to get in, and/or like literally like the core sets are fantastic. Like that ice core set was new ice pieces that didn't exist in ice paint before, and all the basic pieces, like because the ice catacomb from Caverns Deep didn't have a ton of like basic core pieces, so it's like you need a couple regular ice core things to really flesh it out. It's like, I don't know. I'm very excited about the core sets. I think they're
good, and most of the response seems to be very positive. So far, the only time I've heard like any negativity around it is just people wanting there to be more, which we're
Yeah,
working
well,
on. So
slow.
I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, tell Tyler to get on that.
Yeah, I keep yelling at him. Then
well,
he just closes his door and
well,
doesn't see it for another day.
here's the other thing: is we're trying to fit, we're trying to bundle up uh, accessible bling packs to go with the core. Some, some.
Yeah, because law on the forums like made a good point. To a lot of people, like it's the bling that
Yeah.
makes the stuff look really interesting and
Yep.
exciting. So we need to make sure those are accessible as well.
We need to we need a couple of sets of like, oh wow, this is like a collection of caverns dressing, because like the caverns deep kind of flare pieces are and the Dungeon of Doom flare pieces are scattered across a whole bunch of different encounters and whatever. So like bundle up some of these flare pieces into some packs that are less than $100 that you can be like, oh okay, now I want to get that. Or also good if you already have a whole bunch of whatever one of the things you want to get some of those flashy pieces. You already have some of them, but you want to get more, and whatever it'll be. So we're working on that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what we should also do? Should we do this fan build?
Look at the fan build? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We talked about it briefly on the last episode, but now we've got the pictures loaded in. So everybody that hasn't seen this, Forged 2020 on the forums posted this a bit ago. It's one of the wildest builds I think I've seen anybody do. It's really something else.
Man, can I restart this? How do I start the... Oh, yeah, wait. Is there a way to restart the... We didn't get started with the opening shot. Where is the thing? I already lost it too. Photo of the week. Oh, well,
just let it.
All right.
Just let it go through.
So he built this crazy cathedral. There's a good way. And just repurposed a lot of pieces in a lot of interesting ways. It's got resin. It goes all the way from resin pieces all the way up through Plaguestone pieces. Like he has. Is it a he? They have a like.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they have just a delightful collection of everything, and a WizKids mausoleum and graveyard fence in there. But
the way that they did the round roof on top is wild to me.
It's awesome. And look at the
Just
bridges
turning the tower
in
pieces
the
sideways.
front, and like there's old resin catacombs. Look at all those, man. They have a huge collection. Yeah, using the towers as a roof and buttresses as the side of the roof and heavy windows, and they're using the castle to build the front towers. The side view of the water, using water tiles vertically, and like
yeah. What really blew my mind was when they churned when they started building like at a 90-degree angle to show a cross section of the lake, or to show like the ant colony underneath the castle.
It's like it's magic, and it's masterfully used to the pieces, and it's awesome. Well, it's just so cool to see pieces used quote unquote wrong, right? On the right. Hey, look at Plaguestone pieces in there. Some hellscape like burrows. Like, it's just like it's pure happiness.
Let me find the build thread so I can post it in chat. So if people want to go talk about it on the forum, you can find it.
The marble daises is the back of the thing.
It's such a phenomenal. It uses so much. It's really unreal.
I want to see how they store and sort their pieces, because they have a very big, like, their collection. They've got a lot of stuff, clearly. Like,
yeah, they've been around for a long time. All right, I'm posting the forum thread in the chat now. So if you wanted to go check out the thread itself and like, tell them yourselves that you love the build and stuff like that.
The double high columns and the lighting. There's a fountain
just
in
the
there.
Sheer amount of creativity. It reminds me of some people who have said that they store their pieces by just using the magnets on the sides to like slap them onto their vents and stuff.
Yeah.
To store them on the walls and ceiling. But to make a fully functional build like this is wild.
And
I love that shot through the window on the inside too.
That whole upper level looks like it lifts off, so you can get down and I don't know. It's. Oh yeah, wait, look at that. Oh, there were a bunch of IKEA, the Alex drawers in the background there.
Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous, man. I don't know. It's wild to see this stuff. It's the feeling I got from like the skeleton build where they built a town around a skeleton with a sword sticking out of it.
That was amazing.
And just Yeah, I'm just like,
The creativity.
how do you even think about doing stuff like this?
Let's go look at some Dreadhollow stuff.
Yeah, let's get into the pieces.
Where are we at?
And the PCs are like, nah, we want to go to the tavern and get drunk instead. Yeah, if you build that for your game, I guarantee your players are gonna have no interest in going to the church.
Yeah. Boring.
I don't know. That graveyard seems like bad news. No interest.
So we have, I guess the top order business is we have our Dreadhollow pieces. We've got a revamped paint scheme, and we have some revamped configurations and a couple of new sets. So what should we look at first? Should we look at the paint scheme first?
Yeah, I think people will want to see a comparison between the old and new paint scheme. We might as well knock that out right off the bat.
Who can tell which is new, which is old? Any guess?
Oh, so it's already a mixture right there.
Yeah. Buckle up.
Oh, they want to know if you can rotate the mic more towards you.
Oh, right. Oh, you want to hear me?
Somebody.
I need to train my my children to. Yeah.
Just start training them to be techs.
Yeah.
Best boy at 8 years old.
Just the best. All right, so this is a Wildlands piece, and so the reason we revamped the paint scheme was there was a lot of inconsistency from the paint coming out of the factory because it was too complicated. There were too many steps and too much variation, and it was just too hard to keep it consistent. And so Erin was really worried as we're going to Wildlands. She's like, we can't deliver a whole Kickstarter where it's just wildly inconsistent. She's like, I gotta nail it down so we can get consistency from them. So the pieces that people get now are gonna match the stuff that they get in a year and yada yada. So she used the new paint scheme as the basis for the paint scheme in Dreadhollow, or in Wildlands. So this is the old. This is old paint scheme.
This is fascinating because all the answers in chat are contradicting each other.
That's awesome.
Like nobody can agree on which is which.
So this is the old, this is the original, and this is the new. And are these aligned the same? Yeah. So the difference is maybe I just go one single. Hang on. Let me go single.
Oh, the same. Move the mic back a bit. It's a little bit in the shot.
You're a little in the shot. Oh yeah.
I wish.
You know, who needs kids as techs when you have a whole viewing audience that it can be our techs? All right, so let's see. Maybe get a little closer. Go side by side. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, the difference is really just there's less steps and less different colors and shades in the new one. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially trying to keep it simpler so that they can nail it. And so basically we eliminated the. Is that in focus? I can't tell.
It looks good here.
There we go. So there's all these sort of the orange and the yellow is gone. So the new one it just focuses. I get a little bit wider. Let's get a little. I've gone too far. The new one is basically just the green with gray rocks, brown for the paths and brown for the stumps. So everything's a little more consistent. It's also it's an easier palette to take in. Like you can take in the details better in the new paint scheme. It's also just sort of a better frame for your miniatures and whatever. It's kind of simpler. So we have the red berries, and we have but basically it's all the same base colors and so they work. They still work side by side. It works really well with. This is Wildlands. This is a factory painted piece, and this is a piece painted by Erin. So that's encouraging. Right, that's like literally it's a perfect match. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
And they I think it's just good. Oh, so here's and. So basically, we skipped all of the thoughtful touches / picking out some of the specific plants. But what you can do, if you get this, and you want, like, it's a fun project to just go in and be like, oh, there's a little beetle here I want to give that guy a little splash of color, or oh, I want to give my ferns like a darker shade, or just go in and pick out some details and give it some pops yourself, because all the base, like this sort of base work is done, and then you can just do the fun detail work. If you want to paint your mushrooms, give them a little thing, or give some of the clusters a different thing, or paint the little dots in the center, whatever. Like, you can just go out and pick out any of the stuff you want, because all the all the grunt work is done, which is I think is pretty awesome. We've got here's an escarpment in the new. Let me find it. Old right here.
Yeah. And so that's really what the issue is it's not that we disliked the old paint scheme, but it's more that what we were getting from the factory.
Well, here's a great example. Look, this is an old escarpment. Look at the difference in the orange. Like, this is what Aaron called the macaroni. Like, where it got like crazy macaroni colored versus versus this is the new, nice and clean. There's no macaroni, so whatever. You don't have as much variation, whatever, but also you don't have as much variation. So then, if you want and give yourself a couple of orange leaves, whatever, you can just go pop in with a paintbrush and take 5 minutes and do some details. But it's like, it just and they're all gonna look like this. That's the great thing, is that you won't have two radically different oranges popping out. You won't have whatever. So I'm very excited by the new cleaner scheme. It just looks, I think it looks better because it's simpler, and then you can add your own flourishes if you need them. And of course, the old and the new. This is new. This is old. I mean, this is old. This is new. This stuff all will work together fine. Wildlands, Dreadhollow.
Yeah.
So I think it's a win for everybody.
It is touch upable, but the main thing is just that we needed it to be something where you could rely on what you're going to be getting from the factory.
Yeah,
like, when you get it out of the box.
I want people to know what they're going to get and be able to count on it. Here's a. Yeah, we do another side by side. Here is. Oh wait, these are old trees. I don't think the trees have changed.
Oh, do you know when we're gonna have an updated paint guide for it?
Oh, geez. Do we even have a paint guide for the? There's a big hard no on that. I do not know, but we're working. Aaron, that's part of January. Is picking out. Aaron's gonna do a bunch of new videos and whatnot, so we'll get there. So this is the old, new. Cleaner bits, and you can just go in and pop a couple of things if you want to. But what's nice is all the floors are gonna look like this. There'll be consistency. You won't have macaroni popping up, whatnot. So hopefully that will let people rest at ease if they already have Dreadhollow and they get some new ones. Like, it'll work together fine. Anybody worried about the paint?
Yeah, there's some people who prefer the old scheme.
Well, the problem is it was all over the boards. Like, we would get pieces that looked radically different, and a lot of them that were messy. Like, look at these escarpments. Like, I just pulled these out of my collection, and like, look at this. Like, the work on this. It was not.
Yeah. That was really the issue we were getting. It wasn't that we didn't like what the initial scheme was.
I loved having a little more pops of color, but they couldn't get it. They couldn't get it right and consistent. Like, this was happening.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, what the hell is that? Like, it was popping up all over the place, where there was just like stuff was just wildly all over the place. Or they get their colors in the wrong order and things. I don't know. It was just not sustainable. So the new one is clean and sustainable.
There are a lot of people saying that they would like us to get some PDF guides and stuff out there.
Yeah.
And I think, especially with the situation, having some resources for all the paint would be great.
And it'd be nice to sort of say, hey, I don't know if you knew, but on this piece there's a mushroom and there's a whatever, or I don't even know where all the thoughtful. I have to go hunt for the thoughtful touches, but hey, here's a thing you could hide. You could you know, if you wanted to, you could pick this thing out with a little something or. Yeah, there's lots of hidden critters.
Yeah. Um, and then, so I should. This is a pretty good time to touch on this because I saw somebody asking about it earlier. Um, so yeah, there was a little bit of Dreadhollow that got released earlier this week. What that was it was the last of the old paint scheme floors that we had in stock. Because with the new ones coming in, we didn't want them to get like mixed up in the factory, or not in the factory, in the warehouse. So we just kind of cleared out that stock so that when the new stuff comes in, you know what you're getting, as opposed to you getting a chance of actually getting the old paint scheme. But
And I think we cleared out all the old. I was gonna say if so many people desperately wanted the old.
Yeah, it's sold out pretty fast, so there shouldn't be any mix-ups at the warehouse or anything.
We revamped a couple of sets, so like the Escarpment's Corners. Let me pop this out. Now has these two guys and Concave, wherever he is, because this guy was really hard to get, so he's floating around. So you can do this. You get two of these, and you can do a neat thing. We put with the transition banks. There's two short straights and two concaves now. There were only one previously, and if you do any sort of fiddly building, you need two of these guys. I think those are the only two we revamped, and then we have three new sets. One is a very simple one. One is the Apex Primordial. So this guy on his own in a pack. If you didn't get it in the Kickstarter and you don't want to have a whole Dreadhollow and you want to get this guy, you can get this guy on his own in a pack, which is neat. So Apex Primordial is a pack. The Cave Mouth pack already existed, right? That's not new. We have the Spirit Tree is in a pack. So
I love the sound of Dwarf and I just tumbling everywhere.
Yeah, sound of my life. So you can get this guy with the Spirit Gyre, and of course I have one with a dead battery, I think. Yeah. It's got the remote. It's got this, so you can do your cool glowing gag. And I don't know if anybody. I've showed it off before, I think, but the let's see if you can see it with the light. The Spirit Gyre that's in there has we made holes around the edges so that when we actually sculpted it, we had a fogger in mind. It's hard to see that there's little notches around it. Maybe you can see it better this way. Look. Also, if I zoom in, perhaps that would help as well. It's a little tricky to see, but you can see the light coming around the edges.
Has the Apex Primordial's paint scheme changed at all? It hasn't, yeah? Still the same?
No, it's changed slightly. It doesn't look any different.
Imagine it wouldn't have been affected by most of the stuff that we had to change.
You know, it has a better rock color. It actually looks better. Huh. Here's Some
people were saying that they liked the way the rocks looked on the new ones.
Yeah, there's a little more contrast.
That might be it.
Yeah, they have a lighter dry brush. Here, wait, let's look closer. So this is, well, you can tell the difference. This was the guy from one of those live games I did where I put a. This is the one that Casey's character Hex turned into. I put running lights on him, which I guess kind of messes up the paint color. So he's wrapped in green LED with strings, but the new one has the new rock color. Does that read? Can you even tell the difference? Yeah, I guess
the one on the right looks browner.
Yeah, this is the old one, and this is the new one. Has the rocks are a little grayer, brighter, whiter. They read better, and the mushrooms are a little. So you can see a little bits of cadaver cat mushrooms on there, a little purpler on the new one. Reads a little better, more contrast.
Yeah, there's definitely more like just looking at it here, like you can see the individual parts on the new paint job better.
Yeah, it's less muddy. Whoops, I can't.
Yeah, I like that it sticks out.
Yeah.
Because I know, especially when we were doing the live game, and a lot of that was just the compression from, you know, the fact that we were streaming it and all that. But I felt like the primordial, like when we used the primordial, I felt like it had a hard time reading on on stream when we used
same color as the background. He's like, you know, he's identical to the back. Yeah.
The color of the Dwarvenite change on the pieces is same. It's the same casting color, right?
Same casting color, just the paint. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still can't get this. Still trying to get this to read that there's. No, I still can't see it. This holds anyway. You can put a fogger. You can get a fogger underneath there, and there's around the edges. There's little holes kind of around the edges to let the fog come up and illuminate. If you do that sort of thing. And then
how does the Dreadhollow paint scheme compare to Wildlands, Forest, and Swamp? It matches exactly. That's the
beauty.
Goal. Yeah, is this will blend in with Wildlands stuff perfectly.
This is a Wildlands piece. New Dreadhollow paint scheme. New Dreadhollow paint scheme. Wildlands. New Dreadhollow paint scheme.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I think that looks pretty seamless.
Yeah. Aaron was really working hard to make it make it a really good match.
It's unfortunate that she basically had to redesign the entire thing that she'd spent all that time designing.
Yeah. Yeah.
What time on Thursdays? The restock's actually on Friday. 11 a.m. Eastern. We did it earlier in the day because we wanted to give people in the EU time to place their orders, because that's also like the cutoff for like guaranteed Christmas shipping if they wanted to get it there in Christmas.
So the last new configuration that we have in Dreadhollow is we got this guy. This guy.
As far as quantities on the restock, there's going to be a lot. Yeah. It's going to be very similar to the Caverns Deep restock we did recently, where we're trying to put so much of these basic sets in that basically we want them to never run out in the store. We want them to be able to be constantly selling throughout the year.
Well, they might run out, but
they might if we underestimated the demand. But we're doing like larger restocks than we usually do here.
What else is in the Dreadhollow dressing? The gnarled tree in the
The gnarled tree's a big one.
Yeah, I love that guy.
I can bring up the gnarled tree or the
Gnarls Barkley, as I call him.
Gnarls Barkley.
Because he's got bark,
Gnarls Bark Tree.
Yeah.
Stump Patch B, large gnarled tree, fairy ring, hollow stump lid, freestanding stump, patch A, the small tree parts, bare small trunk, small stump topper, large stump topper. That's the entire dressing pack.
Dude, Stump Lump is such a better name than Stump Patch. Like
Stump Lump is a lot of fun.
Dude,
yeah.
Stump Lump Clump, you can't beat the Stump Lump. That's Anyway, so this is the new Dreadhollow dressing pack, right? Which is it's all fun freestanding scatter bits, particularly ones that were harder to get, right? Like these were the gnarled tree was harder to get, and this big hollow stump was hard to get. This guy pops off, so you can put your you can put a light in there. You put a fogger. I put the. Did I show? Was that on? Remember the thing we did? Did we do that online with the did we put this on this on top of the fogger on stream?
We did. That was
Week?
one of the first Wildland streams. Somebody in chat asked us to put
No.
the fogger through the spirit tree.
No, not the spirit tree. This little one. Did I do that? Did you do that on stream, or was that on?
Oh no.
I did it on my home. On so remember, so we drilled a hole. Remember, we drilled a hole in the. It was last week, right? We drilled a hole in the cave floor.
Yeah.
Remember, so I took that same structure, where there was a. I just kept the same base of the terrain trays and put forest terrain trays over them. Over it, and then put this guy over it and use it for the home game, and it was awesome. Like, it was this evil tree spewing out stuff, and I put there's a short video. Oh no, the videos of the Cavern Steep one, the cave one, on my Twitter. Hey, at NateTaylor.com. You can follow me on Twitter, and I put up a bunch of these photos and videos from our streams up there. I guess I didn't put a video or photo of this one up yet, but it looked pretty neat with with the fog coming out of it on at home. So anyway, this has got a hole in it, so you can do that sort of gag, or you can use it to transition down into your dungeon or your thing or whatever.
Burrows, everybody's favorite set.
Dude, I can't believe how poorly Burrows scored in the survey. They really.
I think it's just something people don't think about using often, but then you see the way they're used. Like, man, like the people who do have them love them. It seems.
Well, they're like, claustrophobic. They're twisty. It's really fun to do. It's easy to do these kind of arcing elevation bits. Like, Stefan really wanted to be able to do twisting ant tunnels, and like, I feel like I've really nailed it. And wait till someday, if we ever do an expansion on it, it'll really 45 degrees and more twist. You know. Anyway, but nobody seems to like the burrows, so yeah. So this, I'm excited about this pack. Oh, and we have the stump toppers in here, so that you can, if you want, you can pop you can use these as just also stumps. It could be the whole deforested area. The orc lumberjacks have come through.
And there are 2 of the fairy rings in there as well, not just
one.
Ooh. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, so you can teleport from one to the other. Or it's a fairy fire trap. You step on the thing, and it hits it emanates fairy fire out. You can do a fun thing where you like use your what's the arcane invocation, eldritch invocation, what are the warlock invocations? Eldritch invocations, just invocations. The
Eldritch invocation?
Yeah, the warlocks get. Do you get the one that you can push stuff with your eldritch blast? Pushing blast, blasting. What is it called? It's the thing it's the thing you get.
There's force.
No,
Eldritch invocation force.
It's a thing.
I'm looking for an answer in chat because I have no idea. I never played Warlock. Repelling blast.
Repelling blast, right? So you have your repelling blast. You can use it. It basically, every time you hit someone with your eldritch blast, you push them back 10 feet, which is amazing. Especially when you get 2 eldritch blasts at 5th or 6th or whatever. So you can hit the same, but you can knock people back 20 feet if you hit them with both, and so you can push people into these rings and set them off. And anyway, it's fun. It's fun battlefield control stuff. So anyway, this is a neat little. I'm excited about this pack because it's, once again, this stump lump was a little trickier to get. These were hard to get. This was hard to get, and it's all in one fun little scatter set. So I feel like something like this could be a core set, like, because it's, I don't know, it's just all useful forest scatter. Although
somebody in chat with Eagle Eyes is wondering what little animal is on the tree stump.
Which tree stump?
I can't even see it. So like they've got better eyes than I do. I'm assuming the big one with the mushrooms, maybe. Stump.
Shelf fungus. You know, I don't know. Let's see, because I haven't. Eli would know.
The large stump patch. Okay, large stump patch.
Oh, that's. Oh, it's a rat or a mouse right here. Let's go and we're going to enhance.
Oh, apparently there's somebody said centipede, somebody said frog, somebody said lizard. If it's about that, so on that one it's a rat.
Wait, where's the? I don't even see it. There's
like under the trunk.
Right there.
Or under the roots.
Is that a rat or is it a frog? No, it's a rat. It's got a tail. We gotta get Eli on the horn. While Wizards is dialing in, get him in too. We'll I'll tell you what. There are a lot of critters. The Apex Primordial has 4 different critters on him. One of them is really hard to find. The snail. There's
I'm very happy. I'm happy with the ones that we've hidden in Wildlands too. Those like little details are just fun.
The thoughtful touches are magic. Oh, here's the spider. That guy's easy to find because he's painted. There's a literally like Eli sculpted it and took him 5 minutes to find the snail. At one point, we were like, he's like, no, there's a snail. I'm like, no, nobody believed it, and then he was like, well, I hid it in here somewhere and found it, and then it was like, oh yeah, there's like the most minuscule snail. I don't know. That's a fun. I'll have to come back next week and show you all the bits because there's hidden stuff everywhere. Lots of critters. Man, where is the snail? Oh.
The hollow tree down to burrows would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying there are bunnies in the hedges.
There is a little. That's for rabbit burner. There's a little at the base of the thorn wall. There's a little rabbit down there. This one even has irises painted in, or pupils in his.
New hedges are the same, right?
They do not have rabbits. The new ones.
Oh,
the paint is the same. Yes, but the I think I meant the ones from what's those? Plaguestone. Oh, speaking of which, let's take a little intermission. Wait, was there anything else new in the Dreadhollow? We had 2 reconfigures, 3 new sets, new paint scheme.
Yeah, because I mean, we don't really need to talk about. I mean, the Spirit Tree and Apex Primordial being broken off into their own pack isn't really a big thing.
Well, if you wanted them, it's a big thing.
Well, sure, but I mean, it's not hard to describe what's in them.
No.
Dreadhollow dressing. You went over the escarpments. Did you go over the transition banks?
Yes, there's new. Yeah, we got 2 more.
Then that's
2 more of these guys.
Then, yeah.
All right, let's look at this. We built this on air a few weeks ago, a month ago, I don't know, and used it this weekend and made a few tweaks. And let's look at this. Dreadhollow. Oh wait, let's do the giveaway. Let's do the giveaway.
Yeah. All right. Just need a giveaway word. Let's see.
Is there a funny word that we've been using a lot?
People are asking if there's going to be a Banks Mega.
You know, it's funny that I configured one, and then we had to cut it. The order was too expensive, all in all, so that one didn't make the cut. But there were a lot of banks in Wildlands, so I'm assuming. I don't know. We'll see if the desire, after all the Wildlands stuff, if the desire is still there for a original transition banks mega pack. Maybe we bring it back. The configuration exists.
Excellent.
What's our word?
Yeah, so let's grab a keyword for this giveaway. We're giving away a basic Caverns core pack, one of the new configurations, this week. U.S. only.
Yeah. How about the word?
Is the Bramble Bunny gone or just not painted in the new?
Whoa, Bramble Bunny. That's a perfect word. BRAMBLEBUNNY, all one word. Bramble Bunny.
Okay, Bramble Bunny is now the thing. We can only ship it in the U.S. But if you want, just type Bramble Bunny, all one word, in chat, and you'll be entered to win a basic Caverns core set.
See, we're so thoughtful to do these simple words like Bramble Bunny, so people know it. No, he's in.
So while we're doing that, so is the rabbit not?
No, he's there.
Or not
he's
there,
right there.
He's there. Okay.
He's right there.
He's off camera right now, I think.
He is. I'm pointing to him. He's in the bottom.
Oh, I am on a delay, so that might be it.
It's right there. He's a little tiny guy. He's gray. He's got a little red nose.
There we go. Okay, yeah, he's there. The bunny's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah. We're not messing with that bunny. Don't you worry. Like, buddy, some things are sacred. You do not burn the rabbit burner. All right. It's like who
I
watches
guess I'm
The
just confused
Watchmen?
by what you mean by. So he's saying he means in the new hedges, and I'm not sure.
The ones
Like
from
the Plaguestone hedges.
the Plaguestone hedges. I have one here. Do not have bunnies. No rabbits.
It's just in that sculpt.
Yeah, this is a curving one. This is Michelle cut her fingers doing these because the brambles were so sharp. It was the big arch that really got her. Yeah. No rabbit in this. Only one little rabbit. Let's go to the.
Robert Burgess said he was going to sleep a while ago, and he's still here.
We're talking about you, rabbit.
How's he supposed to leave when we're talking about the rabbits?
Yeah. So this was the Manticore Tower build from I don't know one of these. We did it on a stream. It was like maybe an early chill build stream, and I think I added a few more walls of thorns.
Oh wow! So that's what became of it.
Hang on, let me get it. How do I get? I have. You would love this. My rig here to hold this camera. It's a classic.
Yeah, I'm not stressed at all about what's happening on the other end right now. I can't even see from my point of view either, so I have no idea what's going on.
This, Oh yeah, I can turn this over this way. I keep forgetting to turn you. There you go. It's a stool that my dad made that I just turned like a bench stool that I turned on its side and clamped an arm to and then put the thing and it's Anyway, it's a bunch of fun hedge maze madness up to the tower with the manticores. And it's just such a fun man. Doing a hedge maze with like my brother plays a barbarian rogue with he has a ring of jumping. Well, it's attached to a spear, but whatever. And my son Grayson is a dragonborn, but he ended up getting these small wings, so he's got 15-foot flying speed. So it's them trying to figure out how to get everybody else up over the hedge mazes while all the manticores are flying in. 3 manticores flying in, attacking. Fun. Oh, we got poison blooms ended up over there. I don't know if those were in the original.
How long did it take them to get through this?
I do 2-hour sessions, because it's we have a lot of kids, and actually they could probably do the whole time if there's the schedule of all the families and whatever. So. We did this in 2 hours, and they were pretty smart and focused their fire on the manticores and got them to flee. They basically it wasn't just beat each other down on the ground until you die. It was they had to basically do enough damage to kind of drive the leader off, and then the others kind of got nervous and they lost. It could have been. I mean I could have turned it into a 4-hour fight. It was like there could have been enough. Whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. That makes sense though. Like actually giving the manticores some sense of self-preservation.
Yeah, and they were talking a lot of trash and it's fun. The fun thing too is like having all those different layers of. Let's see if we get I can't see the camera. There. And you can see the layers. There's like four layers high, plus the train trailer, plus the tower. It's a lot of. Yeah, it's a good one. Alright. Oh, and the nest. I think we did it on the air. We put the nest.
Yeah, we did it. We did a lot of work on this build on air.
Yeah. I think. Oof. I think we put the nest in there too, right? The resin nest fits like so perfectly in the tower. I put a chimney up there too, because you finish this guy out. Didn't paint the base, but okay.
The nest did go up on the air.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
3 Plaguestone bramble gates. Yeah, you had so many.
Yeah, well, you need enough to like try and make it. You know, had it, there's actual paths like you could take. There were paths through 3 different paths through each at different levels of difficulty.
I am curious to see if anybody's made like an actual like authentic maze out of it. Although I guess the problem would be that the players would be looking from above, so they could kind of just see through.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Alright. Well, that's
It's a cool looking thing. Man, imagine
fun.
getting to play on this as a kid.
I don't think they realize how good they have it.
I mean,
like,
I'm thinking about like the Hot Wheels world that I made when I was a kid. You know?
Yeah.
Like that's definitely the closest thing to this.
Oh. Although this one did get a, I got a whoa cool Uncle Nate, which I read. I don't get that often. Like they're busting out these builds, and they're just like, hey, they're like, this is how D&D always is, right?
They'll learn the value of Dwarvenite when they're older. You know.
Yeah. So, do we have any Dreadhollow questions? Should I build something with it? What are we doing? What time is it? How are we? What's going on? Oh, we got
Look at it. It's 8:20. We have like a half hour.
Let's build something.
Let's see. Everybody's saying they're like all their kids are really spoiled with the builds they get.
It's the best.
Let's see.
Because
Looking through for questions. I feel like we kind of handled most of them as they came up over time. Are the straight brambles being restocked?
I don't know.
Check.
You tell me. I don't have the list.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the restock list. I don't remember seeing them. I'm gonna check it real quick though. Let's see.
You know, if you're gonna spoil your kids with like high-end D&D, that's that's worth it. That's a great. They will remember that for their life. It's gonna instill. I have so many amazing life skills that I got through role playing, right? Both tabletop and LARPing. Like it gave me such an unbelievable foundation for so many things in life. It's like, if you can instill that into your kids and you give them the joy of these like ridiculous worlds that you're building together, like hell yeah. That's well worth spending 10 grand in our Kickstarter.
I looked at the restock list. I do see a bramble pack on there.
Woo!
So the brambles are coming in on Friday. I'm assuming a fairly good amount of them.
You know what's fun is we're sneakily and quietly building up a collection of spell effects. Right? We have a wall of fire, we have a wall of ice, we have wall of thorns, we have entangle with the bramble patches in the ground. We have wall of force. We have what else do we have?
You can technically use the escarpments as a wall of stone.
Or the Aranthor is better.
Yeah.
If you want to.
I just like the idea of somebody dropping like a giant combat on the field.
It's the best. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure people have used other bits for. We have the torch stand as a really good. Oh, that's what I. Wait, there were 3 things you were supposed to email me about. The third one I just thought of now is you just email me torch stands as we're putting the restock. I really want to try and get an order in for torch stands.
Okay, so email you about torch stands.
Yes. We're making a pack of just the torch stands on their own from KS3 because those things are awesome and hard to get. Oh, the other amazing thing?
They can be used like everywhere too.
They're dynamite. The stilts in the new Dreadhollow are the stilts with the new black metal that I have yet to have the metal come off, so that's good.
Excellent. That's like a very common issue. So if we manage to resolve that, that'd be excellent.
Oh, you know what we didn't do?
Please show us the new paint scheme banks next to an old Dreadhollow piece if you can.
Yeah. We need to.
I guess we showed the floors. We haven't shown the banks next to.
We need to at some point schedule the Fix It episode, where I'm just gonna go through all the broken pieces and fixing them. Speaking of broken stilts, I have. What do we have?
That's true. We do have. We could theoretically.
My...
Well, I don't know if we want to do that on the same day that we have Felipe. Or
No,
Fat
no. It's got to be its own thing. It's not gonna be boiling water and doing whatever.
So maybe we do that in the new year.
This is my fix-it box.
Slot that as one of the first ones.
It's mostly magnets that have fallen out and stilt metal that's come off, I think. But there's this guy in here, the socket where the thing pushed in, and I got some stuff. I'm gathering up broken pieces, so we'll have something to do.
Excellent. Oh, somebody asked something. Oh, we should probably run the giveaway soon. It's been going for a bit.
Oh, yeah. Bramble Bunny, give him a last chance.
All right, Bramble Bunny. You guys have like 30 more seconds to type Bramble Bunny, all one word. Just Bramble and Bunny, the way they're usually spelled.
But that's one word.
U.S. only for shipping, unfortunately. If you do live international, if you can ship it to somebody in the U.S. and they can pass it on to you, that's perfectly fine.
Or ship it to Odin Forge and he'll give it away for you. He's kindly giving away. He won the Classic Remastered one of these recently and is giving it away on his Twitter channel. He's paying it forward. All right, so this.
Oh well, this is curious.
What?
It's like not. It like wasn't making people eligible. I think I can fix it though.
We have to give away double. What?
It like wasn't like people are putting the word in and I'm looking at it and it's not putting people eligible for some reason.
It doesn't like made up words.
We've used made up words so often.
Every time.
We used Ham Planet.
Dude,
like,
now that's I've gone Ham Planet, full Ham Planet. So here's the new bank's old floor. Is that are you amused? Are you entertained? I'm gonna cheat.
Pretty amused. All right. Will there be another stream talking about KS8? Yes, absolutely. The main thing is we're so early in the conversation right now that there's not a whole lot to tell you at the moment. But we'll give updates as they come, and as we get to different different stages in the process, and as we want feedback from people. Okay, it looks like it is functioning and letting people be eligible now. So a lot of people are in. Just one more time to be safe, type Bramble Bunny, just to make sure that you're in the batch that it's letting in. I've got 19 eligible people, but we have 140 of you watching right now, so I just want to make sure everybody gets in if they want to be. I don't know. I apologize for it not adding people for some reason, but it's working now.
To answer the KS8 question, we're aiming to launch 10 months from now. So we have a little bit of time. Like we will. You'll probably be sick of KS8 by the time it launches. When we'll be going bonkers. Right now. I've been doing very little foam actually. This is trying a different development path where we kind of do a holistic approach on the big, like what the kind of hero buildings and the themes and the whole thing, and then I'm gonna break down some foam and figure out some bits and whatnot. There'll be lots to look at once there's something to look at, if that makes sense. But it probably won't be till 4 months into 2021 or something. I don't know. We'll see. As soon as there's stuff to look at, we'll show it. And I guess one of the caveats is also I don't want to show. Oh, this is old paint scheme. I don't want to show. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't care. Maybe we'll it's showing you stuff 8 months before launch. There's a very, very high chance it'll change, right? Right? Anybody see the waterfall episodes? Like, yeah. How many? Like 4 or 5 waterfall episodes. Like that thing just kept evolving. So, but also, and that's the purpose of the channel, is to show you kind of the process and whatnot. But we'll We'll get there. Maybe there'll be something as early as February. I don't know. We'll see what the rest of this month is. A development month for me, and I don't know. I don't know what it's all gonna lead to just yet.
Yeah. All right. We are good to roll.
Bramble Bunny.
Yeah, it looks like over half the people are in now, so we should be good. So gonna roll in 3, 2, 1.
Bramble Bunny.
Hey, it's Masticon.
Woohoo! Congratulations.
Excellent. Yeah, so I will whisper at Masticon and get that sorted so we can get your basic Caverns core set on the way.
Your choice, painted or unpainted.
Yeah, I guess it's the thing. I mean, just in terms of, I guess this is interesting to me because I want to plan our streaming content around what's going to be interesting to people and keep people engaged. You know, when we started streaming, we were already, you know, we were pretty deep in Wildlands by that point.
Oh man, we were like actually wait, when did we start? It was March of last year?
Late February, early March is when we started showing stuff from Wildlands.
Yeah, so we were like literally a year in development or something.
Yeah, so, you know, we showed the waterfalls and stuff, and so they did get to see you doing foam blocking, because you did foam blocking for the Oblivion Nexus and for the waterfalls.
Well, that's it.
But, like, we didn't show, like, the concept art step or anything like that, because that stuff had already been done a while ago. I guess that's the thing, is, like, what's worth showing, because we also do need to keep some surprises for the actual, like, Kickstarter.
And I wonder if showing that ridiculous Oblivion Nexus that was too big to make was a mistake or not.
I never really heard any complaints about that. I think we were pretty open right at the front. I think what ended up happening with that is we told people, because even when you were crafting it, you were like, I don't even know if we can cast this. And so then we were like, yeah, we weren't able to make that piece. When, you know, we then revealed that there was a...
Nexus Junior?
Yeah, that there was a version of it that we were able to cast and bring out. I think people got really excited to see that it still existed, you know?
Yeah. Well, that was a community-inspired piece, right? That idea came up on a stream. Was that the very first on the Anvil?
That was the first one that you were on, yeah. We were taking ideas, and Finlay suggested a portal down into Hellscape so that Hellscape and Wildlands could be connected. Which really, it was all just a long con to justify bringing back the Fire Elemental Myrmidon.
It worked. It was a hell of a thing.
Yeah. Alright, Night Rabbit Burner, thanks for coming by.
Night Rabbit.
That piece Nate has right now, will that be in the store? I think it's the 2x2 floor they were talking about.
2x2 floor? The 3x6? Which piece?
I think it was the 2x2 forest floor is what they were talking about.
There is no...
They mentioned it earlier.
There's
no 2x2?
In Wildlands there is, but this we've got a 3x3 and a 3x6. These guys?
Might be the 3x3 then.
This little guy?
Okay, yeah, so they're saying yes, those.
These?
People want to know if they can see this stuff at a different angle, if possible.
What angle?
From the side.
What do they want to see from the side? I'm confused.
The build, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, let me see if I can... I'm blanking on, like, what the question was now. Oh, right, I was looking at the restock list. I mean, the 3x3 floors will be... Are they in the Heavy Forest pack?
Light.
Or no, Heavy Forest is just stumps, right?
And the light. The Heavy Forest is the Heavy Forest and the Medium Forest. The Light Forest is the Medium Forest and the open bits. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, Heavy Forest is a lot of stumps. And then the Light Forest...
Is this our angle better?
So yeah, so we do have the Light Forest coming in, so those pieces should be there.
The only piece that won't... Everything on here is part of the Dreadhollow encounter except for this Wildlands piece, which I'm removing out of here. Get off of here.
Let's see. Man, this we need a floor pack with just 3x3 and 3x6.
Yeah, it's in Wildlands. Yeah.
It's fair. Trying to make, yeah. we we're constantly looking at how to try and put these pieces together into packs that make sense. Can we get a KS7 postmortem where you guys share most popular sets and least popular and so on and so forth?
That was last week's episode?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it last week. Yeah, we went over what the final numbers were. At least briefly last week. I think we spent like 20 or 30 minutes on it. We talked about it a couple times. I'm very curious to see what happens when it hits the store.
Yeah, well, because that's the big mystery. That's what we were talking about today. Was trying to figure out what do we order beyond the Kickstarter order, for the web store. Like, what's going to move in the web store? And because there's this weird thing, you're like, well, if the set's really popular in the Kickstarter, shouldn't it also be really popular in the web store? But sometimes everybody got the thing in the Kickstarter, so they don't need more of that. They want something different that they didn't get in the Kickstarter. But sometimes the thing that people got in the Kickstarter, other people want. They're like, oh man, that's the thing I wish I'd gotten too. So it's like forecasting this stuff is really it's a challenge.
Why did you decide to make the teardrop inserts come from the bottom rather than the top, like the burrow inserts?
Hold that thought.
Holding. Can you share the total pledged amount after the pledge manager closed and the biggest pledge sizes? I think we talked about what the biggest pledge size was.
No, I don't. I don't know.
I think Chuck told us what the biggest pledge size was last week, because we didn't know. I think somebody asked and then Chuck said what it was in chat. But it was nowhere near the Caverns Deep record. He told me in Slack. Right, okay, so we did announce it last time.
Yeah, I think that's confidential.
That's fair.
Like,
excellent. Does Caverns really fit perfectly under there, huh? Yeah, it's that's all intentional, baby. Trying to use common shapes, common sizes, so that the stuff is as flexible as possible.
Modularity is popular.
Let's see.
I made the mistake of not building on a big tray, so I can't move this and save it for later. Everything is I have to clear off the workbench. Like, I need to build on a tray and move to the workbench. I was showing. Oh, I was going to show the why we do the teardrops. So the gag I'm doing, right, the caverns under the forest floor is like just a fun, it never gets old. It's a fun reveal. Anytime you can pull a thing off and reveal another thing under there, it's just it's the best.
It's something you can't do on graph paper, right?
No. Well, the z-axis is just always, lively. Oh yeah, I was gonna show the teardrop. Why? Here's why. So,
slightly too big for the 12 by 12 days of Christmas.
Oh, I should do a 12 by 12. That's good.
It's a fun idea.
I love the 12 by 12 days of Christmas.
I wish I had the resources to participate.
All right, so the burrows inserts are like this, boom. All right, and the goal was to make we wanted the exposed burrows holes to look good and make sense and be useful for transitioning, like going down or upward, because there's a lot of sort of z-axis stuff. But the insert pieces themselves they don't look like, they look okay on their own, but they don't look great on their own. With the forest teardrop pieces, we wanted to get the same effect when inserted, that it felt like it was part of the thing, like is growing out of the ground. But it was really important. I wanted them to be useful as scatter pieces on their own when not in the inserted in the thing. And for that, if they were beveled the other direction, they would feel funny. So so having them sloping out this direction meant you could build them out, use them as scatter, and hopefully they felt more, a little more organic, like it could be a mound of thing or whatever. So it was basically the whole reason that they're shaped like that, so they could be useful as scatter pieces on their own. But it is a good question.
I have a couple restock questions. Wondering if we plan on restocking Caverns Deep encounters again.
No.
And then if we plan on restocking the Burrow Tunnels pack.
Maybe. So the I don't know what the burrows. At some point we're gonna chip through the list at some point. I don't think the burrows. I think fundamentally the problem with the burrows is they haven't sold well. So we're hesitant to. Generally we have to commit to like an order of 300 sets if we're gonna do a thing, and I think we might have sold 300 total in the burrows over the span of 3 years, including the Kickstarter or something. So it might not be in the cards, but I don't know. That's a question for Jay. But for the Caverns Deep encounters, the challenge with the Caverns Deep encounters is they're really hard to reorder because the encounters have a very big variety of pieces. Like, unless we're ordering all of the encounters as one big giant bundle, it's hard to hit our minimum order quantity in all the pieces in all the encounters because there's such a wide variety. Like, we're trying to make each encounter have a good variety of pieces, but it's like too much in terms of just ordering a couple of them. So they're not really sustainable for the store. So that's part of like why we're doing the Caverns Core sets, is to round up all the basic building pieces, and then we're going to try and round up all the flashy flare MacGuffin pieces and whatever, and get those into some packs so they can go out and whatever. But I don't think those encounters are going to come back, and I don't think many of the Dungeon and Doom encounters are going to come back much either. They're inefficient orders. But we'll see. I don't know. Everything kind of evolves and changes, but we're really trying to move towards sustainable, having a lot less sets that are sustainable that we can keep in stock. So a few core sets, a few sort of basic next step sets, and then some fun flare sets. And then basically the Kickstarter becomes the opportunity to, if you want the whole giant menu and all the options and all the bells and whistles, whatever, then that's what the Kickstarter's for. And then, maybe we'll have some special restocks from time to time where we do bring back a thing from the past or whatever. But I don't know. It's really hard. We're we're a very small business with a very limited bankroll, so it's a challenge to keep. We have way too many sets to possibly keep them in stock. Even if we were a company twice our size, I think we have too many things to keep in stock.
And then we've got some follow-up questions coming off that. If there's no encounter sets, how will we get the chase pieces? Doing a chase piece pack?
Yeah.
And then people saying that they hope that pieces won't get lost and
stuff
like that.
No, we obviously would like to. We've spent the money to make the molds. We want to reprint pieces as much as we can. And I'd love to do. I think we were talking about it earlier today. I've sort of gather up some of those fun narrative pieces into packs that make sense, and we'll get people. We want to give you access to as many pieces as possible in sets that make sense. It's a double whammy. It's figuring out mold configurations and figuring out what we can actually sell, and just having the time to do the reconfigs and do all the math and figure it all together. But we're chipping at it. January is going to be a lot of It's a month of reconfiguring and trying to it's focus on dungeon and caverns first because those are our best selling lines, and really shoring those up, making sure we have lots of good offerings in there, and then we'll branch out from there.
Yeah. So, like, I guess that's the thing, is ultimately what we would love to do is get to a place where instead of selling entire encounters, like, you can buy more accessible, cheaper packs that you can then use to make those encounters if you want, or make any number of other things. And that's really it.
And the idea is that the encounter was supposed to be you get this thing and it gives you the pieces that you can make all sorts of cool other things, whatever, and it works and they're awesome. They're just not sustainable for orders because the variety of pieces is too high, and unless we're ordering 10 different encounters that are sitting all with a high quantity, we just don't get enough quantity on all the pieces. Like they were designed, they're basically only sustainable as a Kickstarter. If we're doing a giant order for a couple $1 million, then it's doable. But we don't have the bankroll to be able to just order a couple $1 million worth of stock on a regular basis. So they're not sustainable for the web store. Our Kickstarters are definitely not designed to work well on the web store. Unfortunately, they're designed to be awesome as a Kickstarter.
Man, I really like just forest spreads like this. I really like these. It's just nice, like small, like unit-based war game fields.
Or like D&D.
Just having like all the little bumps in elevation and the trees to block line of sight and stuff like that.
Well, can I interest you in a gosh. Yeah, what should we do for a war game, a build of the month war game build? What should we what would be a fun, people have any requests?
Ideally, it would need to be something where it would probably be a smaller scale,
maybe a skirmish,
like table coverage, right?
Maybe a Frostgrave thing.
Yeah, Frostgrave, Relic Blade, War-Torn Castle or City, Village, Roads, Farm, Castle, Fortress in the Mountains. Yeah, I think doing because the main thing with Build of the Month is it has to be something, or you would hope it would be something still fairly cheap that isn't like a big, like, it isn't gonna like break the bank, so probably not like a 3 foot by 3 foot,
well,
table. Although I guess it depends on how much of it's scattered.
Maybe if it's all just scatter and we don't sell the underlayer, right? It's so people can use it with their battle mat or whatever. If it's just a scatter, just a cool scatter collection.
Maybe what we need to do is just look at our sets and see what would be really great for wargaming, and then what we can do with it.
It'd be a good opportunity for a hybrid thing, right? Like a city, like a couple of buildings, the Dreadhollow stuff, some of the Aranthor stuff, and like do a little scene. Oh wait, I turned you around.
It's all good. Yeah, I think it's really what it's got to be. Is just got to look at like what sets we have. So I think we have a lot of stuff that could function for war games, because we have people who have been using it for war games. It's just we don't usually configure it that way.
Well, not for build a month, but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't need to cover the full area. It's usually one major terrain area per 1 by 1 foot or 2 by 2 foot section can be standout terrain areas. That's fair. It could just be like a rocky mound or something, like a little plateau that you can put on one side of the field. Is this a full Dreadhollow? What is this? Is this one of each of the new sets again or something?
This is Dreadhollow plus Banks, I think. I don't know. It's whatever. It's whatever was in these 2 Tupperwares that I took from the office. It's definitely at least one. It's one full Dreadhollow, because I swept that off the table, and put it in in this thing. And then I believe it's one Dreadhollow plus one Transition Banks pack, plus one random long 6-inch bank from home. I think. And I have a bunch of trees over here.
Blocking line of sight and causing decisions for movement are the keys to wargaming terrain. Yeah, I think it's the biggest thing. Is stuff that pieces that are like
vertical
mini height, so that you can either have to climb them or use them for cover. Stuff that can represent like hazards that you have to move around. We have a lot of little pieces that can be used that way. If we can find a good composition of them, we can make some really cool sets, I think.
It's a matter of what do we have in smallish sets that are in stock that we can it's the in stock part that
it's excellent.
The kicker.
You can use some of the rune dungeon as scatter runes.
Yeah.
Runes are great just because it's, like fighting has happened here.
Ooh, that's a fun dungeon ruins plus Aranthor plus Dreadhollow is a neat. That's a neat hybrid. That's a cool bundle. Like that's a weird
that's very Breath of the Wild, yeah. Yeah, so you kind of just have like. So would the forest lead into the ruined dungeon part, or would the ruined dungeons be scattered throughout the forest?
They'd be scattered throughout the forest. It would be a surface, like the remnants of a thing, little clumps of ruins in a forest.
And
with
then
some
nature's
rocks.
kind of been overtaking it.
Yeah, and just like, because those dungeon ruins are just perfect for this because they're 2 inches high. You can make nice little clusters that block like it's Yeah, I like. We're on to something here. Oh man.
We'll have to look at the. We'll have to look at the stuff that we have there and see what we can combine. Elven runes for the wargame scatter. I already got rid of all my flock trees. Dwarven forge trees are amazing.
Get the flock out. Did you try hitting him with a big polystone prototype piece? It's pretty fun. That was one of the best parts. The shooting the intro video, smashing a flocking tree with a huge, heavy piece of prototype was really fun.
Anything you get to, anything that lets you break stuff is fun.
Facts.
I had a lot of fun shooting the Hellscape video. We got so elaborate with the set.
That was awesome.
All the, like, is coordinating like people passing by in the background, making all these weird props. That was a really fun. That was a really fun project.
Hellscape was a good one. That was because it was one of the heights. It was like the height of wackiness, right? Like, it was just unadulterated like nonsense in all the right ways.
We went all out with we had Aaron eat an eyeball.
Yeah,
and like
that was all her. I was like, Aaron, do something like evil, and she just like grabbed the eye and like went to swallow it. I was like, I was not expecting that. That was it was
just no hesitation either. She didn't have
to no, it was just like it didn't miss a beat.
She had been planning on doing that and was happy to have an excuse.
She'd been eyeing that
like,
eyeball.
Yeah.
Halfling blood.
Can't wait to get the Wildlands stuff. The Halfling blood was good. I can't believe Miles like engraved that in like a day.
He took a cool potion bottle of glass and engraved Halfling blood on it overnight.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
God, that was such a good shot too. Man, I have a question I've been wondering about Dwarven Forge trees, including the Wildlands trees. Are the trees able to hold minis in their leaves and branches? Some of them can. We've tested it with a couple. With these multi-part trees, if you take off like some layers, you might be able to stand a mini on some of the layers. Yeah.
Did we ever do the? We never did the tree stand piece, did we? In Wildlands, we had a modular tree stand piece that Toby designed. I don't think it ever made it.
We didn't make that piece, but we did test with a couple of the trees, and so like the slink root can hold a mini pretty well. I think the Rowan holds a mini pretty well. Um, it doesn't look the prettiest, but like you can balance them between the branches on a couple of them. The conifers isn't going to work. I can tell you that right off the bat.
The one shaped like a ramp is not going to.
Yeah, the one that's just a straight like
cone.
70-degree angle. That's not going to work. I guess you could white stick them or something if you want to, but yeah. Well, it's 8:56.
You're 8:56.
I wish.
Wait, where did
I don't even know what that means.
Go? Hold on.
When's the target delivery for Wildlands again? I ask knowing it'll change. We're shooting for what, June?
2044.
June 2044.
Yeah. Heard it here first.
How about it? We'll release. We'll release when Cyberpunk 2077 release.
Yeah, I think you can also use the action shields, flight stands.
I'm trying to see like what we had written.
June, I
I'm
think.
pretty sure we had like June.
So far, we're on target.
Yeah, we got June 2021 as our projected delivery date. Yeah, I mean that's the nice thing is we had so much infrastructure in place this time compared to the other Kickstarters that I mean, God willing, given that we're in a pandemic, but I'm hoping I think that we're on top of things. I'm not expecting us to get hit with any like major production delays.
Is it Asmodeus? Which god?
But that's fair.
It's
man, God willing.
Moradin
takes on a different meaning when you have like a
yeah.
Or just like one of those really inconsequential gods.
The
just like whatever their god of
racial
like,
demigods.
Yeah, it's like the god of like orchards or whatever. Okay, they're saying Moradin, the war god.
Yeah, definitely Moradin. The dwarf father. He's like, yeah, so far Moradin smiles upon the project, and we are on target. But we won't know until after the Lunar New Year. That's kind of what gets done before then, and then how fast do they pick up after.
Yeah, we've been trying to get as much done as we can before they go on the break for Lunar New Year. Because once they're on that break, I mean they're on that break.
Oh, here's another one. You can put guys in. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like I wish we could embrace the idea of just taking a month off. Of course, also a lot of the factory workers don't see their family for large chunks of the year, so it kind of makes sense. But see, these guys, whoops, you fit the gnarled tree fits minis really nicely. Rare.
Respect for the factory workers. Yeah, man, especially just with the state of the world at the moment, like.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's the fact that they're getting any of this out right now is great, and I understand why there's delays.
Well, they were also our factory was really strict about their quarantining, and then when people came back they had to quarantine. They had quarantine rooms at the factory, and you would quarantine for a week at the factory. So they were like, the only way we can know that you're really truly quarantining is to actually like keep you in a quarantine. And they were like,
yeah. And
they had 0 cases, and the factories it's been completely corona free. So for good or for ill, I mean, I guess it's for good. It maybe not the best to have to sit in quarantine for a week in the factory, but it's a sure way to make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah. Well, we're at 9 o'clock.
Well, and we should wrap it up. We gave away the thing. Yes, Masticon won it. And next week we have.
Yeah, we did the giveaway. I'm gonna reach out to Masticon. I'm gonna Masticon. That's you doing it through the Twitch messaging, I think, and I know you're on the so I'll contact you there. And then I think we've covered everything. Let me look at the
I don't
document
know.
real quick.
Yeah, does anybody have any lingering Dreadhollow questions? We have next week. We will have the one and only Felipe Torrent on the show with us. He's done a whole bunch of our concept art, everything from. Where's the hell Steve? Oh, we got the Cameron Deep one.
Yeah, Felipe's great. Felipe
Cameron's Deep bag.
does like the art on the tote bags and.
He did the concept for the Cerberus. He did the concept on the. What else did he concept on Wildlands? I can't remember. Blurs and stuff. He's been doing stuff since City Builder. All sorts of really just dynamite work.
He's got a really sick style.
Yeah, he's a comic book style. He's been playing D&D forever. He lives in Spain, and he's just like the sweetest dude. So I'm very excited to have him on. Yeah. And then we have our remote play episode with Thad from Vorpal Board the week after that. And then we're going to take 2 weeks off. And I'm planning to unhook the internet. And I'm hoping, my dream is to go up to Vermont and see my folks. I don't know if we can. I think Vermont is banning visitors right now. And we had just enough time to do 5 days of quarantine test, go up for a week, come back, 5 days of quarantine test. But I don't know if Vermont is allowing visitors, so we'll see. Wait a minute, I'm gonna disappear. Yeah.
I'm just staying here, so I don't know. There's some videos I want to make during that time, so I'll probably just be doing a lot of shooting and editing stuff here. I don't know. We'll see. Painting. Maybe I'll paint my hellscape over Christmas.
Ooh, that sounds thematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? What am I gonna do for 2 weeks?
Oh
well.
It'd be awesome. And then we'll come back in the new year and start going crazy, and we have to figure out this our 1 year anniversary game plan, whatever that's gonna be, and whatever else we got cooking. I'm excited to start showing some next stuff for the next Kickstarter once we're there.
It'll be fun. We've got a lot more time to do it this time around.
Sketches are sketching. I got to play a little bit of foam. Toby's been doing some cool mocking in 3D, like you just building stuff out in 3D and 3D printing out some stuff for some specific fit things. We got some neat. We'll see. Maybe we'll show some of the systems, some of the geometry systems, not actual sculpts or anything, but like. We have a couple of things. I'm trying to figure out roofs. I don't know. There's maybe some neat stuff to show off. Some fun development bits. We'll get there. There's gonna be tons of it by the time this thing launches. Should we take bets now on whether or not we launch October 1st?
Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and let's start an office pool now. Although I think the problem is that people are gonna start pushing towards, people are gonna start pushing for whatever they bet on.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't either. Well, if it doesn't launch October 1st, it won't launch till 2022, which is a mess. But we'll see. Because nobody wants to run a Kickstarter over the holidays. And actually, that's another disaster. I haven't even thought about. If we do that, then we have to launch the Pledge Manager right after Thanksgiving, and I don't know how. Well, we'll see. That's literally a year from now. So we'll get there. We got everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Big day tomorrow.
It's gonna be fun.
Maybe we will have stuff to say in the next couple of episodes.
Well, because it's just we got a show. The show don't tell, because it's saying is all like literally the things I was saying 2 weeks ago have already changed. And like, I get it. Like, we gotta have some physical, tangible stuff to show. So,
that's
all right,
fair. Entirely fair.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for all the jokes and stuff. Did you tell any jokes today?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's all been a blur.
Good. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next week with Felipe, and be safe. Have a good one, and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Where's the button?